Welcome to Let's Talk Football with me, Chris.
And me, Richard.
The podcast bringing you the latest in football news. Every week we discuss all the big talking points from the world of football and preview all the action in the week to come.
In this week's podcast, England finished winless going into the World Cup despite the turnaround against Germany at Wembley. Mixed results for the other home nations over the week in the Nations League. And we pick our 26-man squad for England's World Cup journey.
So with all that to get on with, let's talk football, shall we? Right then. Hello everyone and welcome back to another week of the podcast. Or podcast, depending on whether you're from north or the south.
Yeah, podcast, mate, podcast.
Podcast where I'm from. It's been a mixed week for England. Well, I'll say mixed week. I think overall it's been, there's been, an hour and a half of absolute dreadfulness. 20 minutes of goodness, and then a moment of madness.
Yes. I would go along with that sentiment.
That's sort of how it's felt this week. It's been dreadful from an England point of view, obviously.
I mean, the Italy game, it was just shut your eyes and don't bother watching.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it helped me sleep. If anybody with insomnia, just go and watch that game of football. You'll be gone. You'll be off in no time. Get you sleeping. And then the Germany game, I got to be honest. When Havertz, and it was a beautiful goal from Havertz, don't get me wrong. Yeah. That one went in 2-0, I thought, oh, and I turned off. So the fact that they were able to do what they did, I was very surprised.
Yeah.
But the changes worked, to be honest.
Yeah, your man Luke Shaw got us back in the game.
He did. Good old Luke.
Mason Mount proved why he should be playing.
Yeah, he's great. I love Mason.
Yeah, as for England, he's fantastic because he does a job for England. I don't see what he really does for Chelsea, but for England, he is that number 10. He makes things happen.
Yeah, he's very good as well, which helps. Having the ability helps. And
then penalty.
Yeah, I think it's a pen. I think they're both penalties are penalties in that game.
I mean, Harry Maguire, I don't know what Harry Maguire was doing.
Do you know what? It's actually unlike him.
To just dive in like that.
To do that, yeah. He doesn't, which means, and obviously it probably comes with a bit of rust and a bit of lack of confidence. And it's not like him to jump in. You don't usually see him do that, especially in the box. You might see him have a nibble outside the box. But normally when he's in the box, he'll try and play the space and get the block in.
I don't know how it wasn't given first time round.
Yeah, the ref. Well, you saw the angle the ref had of it, and I was just thinking, how's he not given that?
Yeah.
I saw it and I thought, well, that's a pen, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's going to come back. But he can't catch a break.
Does well with that.
At the minute, poor Harry Maguire.
No, poor kid.
Getting blamed for the second goal as well, which I think's harsh.
Yeah, but then England do like to pass it out from the back, and it's
that's it, isn't it? And he's up there. Well, he's up there. He's up top, isn't he?
Yeah. And
he dribbles, and they lose it, and then they go up the other end and score. Well, I'm like, that's kind of what he's been asked to do, is to be an extra man up there. You've got three centre. You've still got two centre backs back, by the way. When that happens, they should be able to deal with the situation. And I don't think you should ever have a go at a player for trying something in the final third.
No, because obviously as a left centre back and the right one as well for England, they like to try and push them forward to join in with the play. Yeah.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
So, you won't hear me criticising him for that one.
No.
But yeah, it's been a interesting week, I guess.
Yeah. And then Captain Kane to the rescue.
Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, it was a good pen.
I mean, that was an amazing penalty.
It's what he's how he always scores them, though, isn't it?
But he just has this knack of just finding a space, and he just powers it into the corner.
Yeah, he's very consistent.
I never have any doubts when Harry Kane steps forward that, other than I think he's missed a couple for us, he's not going to miss.
You'd hope not. You really hope he's not saving all his misses for the World Cup.
Yeah, hope not.
But
then, poor old Nick Pope.
Nick Pope's had a moment.
Yeah.
Not
he had a
ideal.
couple of moments as well in the game, didn't he?
Yeah. Not great. Gave the ball away easily a couple of times. Don't think he was helped necessarily with some of the passing that was coming back to him.
Yeah.
He wasn't always helped out, but there was definitely a few moments.
Yeah. So relegation for England.
Relegation for England. Down into Div 2 or whatever, the B League or whatever they call it.
Yeah, so it's A, B, C, and D.
Yeah. So, be interesting.
It means we'll end up with a tougher European qualifying group for the next European Championship.
Yeah. But we'll deal with that, I guess. Comes along.
At least it'll make it more interesting.
Exactly. So the other results then, I didn't see a great deal of what else happened elsewhere. So do we have a roundup of what happened elsewhere with the home nations?
So Wales have also joined England in relegation from the top group.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to be playing in the B League next year as well. Scotland, at the time of recording this, needed a point tonight. Obviously, this will come out on a Wednesday. So if they get that, they get promoted to the A League. So they'll be in front of England, which is absolutely crazy.
Well, that's part of it, though, isn't it? That's the up and downs
of the system, yeah.
Of relegation and promotion, and
yeah, Ireland will stay in the B League next year, so there's a possibility England might play Ireland at some point.
You could have England, Wales, and Ireland all in a group.
Could do, yeah, depending on the seeding. And Northern Ireland, they didn't do very well during the week, so they stay where they are as well.
Okay. So yeah, mixed bag.
Very mixed bag. Obviously, the last internationals for everybody before we head to Qatar.
Yeah.
And nobody's really playing very well.
No, but I think it's just odd, isn't it? This whole season's going to be weird.
Yeah.
So we just have to judge the World Cup on, and I think how people are getting on at the time. I think it was Mancini in his press conference the other day. They were all going, and he was going, "Oh, how can English press be that bad? Feeling that bad? At least you've got a World Cup to go to, or something like that." He said,
"Yeah,
things can't be going that bad."
No. Did you see that Cristiano Ronaldo had a nasty injury?
He did on his face.
Very nasty.
That was a good night for Portugal.
Yes.
If you're a Man United player, Diogo Dalot with a couple, Fernandes with the other.
Yeah.
Full of United influenced that one. The second, Diogo Dalot's second, by the way. Don't know if you saw it.
No, I didn't.
I would go and have a look at it.
I will do that.
Hell of a strike.
So then we've got the semi-finals next year of the
that'll be June, won't they? At the end of the season.
So it's Croatia, Portugal or Spain, Italy and the Netherlands for the title to win the Nations League as a thing.
Exciting times. You know what? I know the Nations League, like people kind of, I don't get it, why are we doing this, One, they're better than friendlies.
Absolutely.
You're playing 100%. For something. And two, when you think of I think more about the lower nations in the lower divisions. So I'm talking about your Liechtensteins and your Andorras and all those guys who have to go and have the horrible qualification groups for the World Cup and the Euros. It gives them some competitive football against teams that are at a level with them.
I will give you an example. So Georgia, who are in League C, Group 4, with Bulgaria, North Macedonia and Gibraltar.
Yeah.
They've won their group. So they'll get promoted to the B.
Yeah.
They've got 16 points from their 6 games. I bet if you went through the last sort of European World Cup qualifiers, it would probably take you about 2 or 3 attempts for them to get anywhere near 16.
Exactly. So to have that competitiveness for those nations, I think, is very important.
It's very important, yeah, absolutely. And obviously it gives them an incentive.
Yeah, gives them
something.
They
now go up into the B, and they could play the likes of England and things
but
that.
It gives them incentive to develop, because it's like, okay, we're going to be involved in some competitive football. We're not just going to be battered every week or every time we play or whatever.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it gives them something to work towards, because there's a chance that, it must be horrible going into a game of football thinking we haven't got a chance. And it's like every game you play.
Yeah.
So that's why I think the Nations League has a place.
It does have a place. It's better, as you say, it's better than friendlies.
Much better than friendlies. Okay, so before we pick our World Cup squad for England, then, do we want to go around the world?
Okay, I am going to take you around the world. A short trip around the world this week. So, with the lack of action due to the international break, we start with the WSL, where Liverpool was painted blue as Everton won the Merseyside derby by 3-0. A record crowd for a WSL game at the Emirates saw Arsenal win the North London derby 4-0. Rachel Daly struck again as Aston Villa beat Leicester. There were also wins for Brighton, Manchester United and Chelsea. The only game to be had in the MLS saw the LA Galaxy beat San Jose by 3-2, including 2 goals for Javier Hernandez. No Panenkas in sight this week for him. In the EFL, Plymouth rise to the top of League One after coming from behind to beat Ipswich. Leyton Orient continue their unbeaten start at the top of League Two. There was a belting game in the National League between Dagenham and Redbridge and Barnet. It finished 5-4 to Dagenham. And sacking season is in full swing. The following managers have lost their jobs in the last week. So Watford sacked Rob Edwards yesterday. He was replaced by Slaven Bilic. Steve Morrison left Cardiff. Danny Schofield left Huddersfield. Paul Warne left Rotherham to take over at Derby. Paul Hartley left Hartlepool to be replaced by Keith Curle, and Wayne Brown left Colchester.
Lots of changes then.
Lots of changes. I mean, the Rob Edwards one is ridiculous.
Yeah.
11 games.
11 games. Bye-bye, Rob.
Yeah.
See you later, mate.
And they were even planning to do it a couple of weeks ago, apparently.
Well, you know, he'll have a nice payout.
He will, but he
Nice
left
payout.
Forest Green to go and manage Watford.
Yeah.
And it's just like, he's a young English manager who's just making his way in the game. He thought, it's a really good opportunity.
Did Forest
for
Green
Watford.
even replace him in that time?
They did, yeah.
Okay.
They did replace him, yeah.
I mean,
he may well go back because they're struggling in League One, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, what a mess,
Ridiculous.
what a mess. Also worth pointing out, I think, the Sidemen charity match, I don't know if you saw that over the weekend or anything.
I saw the final score, yeah.
8-7.
Yeah, indeed.
Couple of cracking goals in there, though.
There was some very dodgy goalkeeping as well.
Poor old Cal the Dragon. But I don't know if you saw the strike from Young Philly.
I didn't,
Oh,
no.
Right outside the box.
Yeah.
Smashes it into the top corner near post. It was a strike and a half. I watched a bit of that.
The valley was very busy. It looked very, very full.
Well, it was full. Yeah. It was 27,000. 2.6 million, I think it peaked at concurrent viewers.
Yeah, and £1 million raised.
£1 million raised. 4 very good charities.
Yeah.
It was good, that. I enjoyed that. Lots of fun. Right. So, it's time for us to have a go at picking our 26.
Yeah.
So, let's start then, shall we?
Start with keepers?
Start with keepers.
Yeah.
Start at the back. So we've got, 5 options, maybe?
Yeah.
So we've got Pickford, Ramsdale, Pope, Henderson.
Yeah.
I think that's probably your 4, really, isn't it?
Probably about your 4 that are going to be
in the discussion, I would imagine.
Who is going to be the man to miss out?
I think Dean Henderson will be the man to miss out.
Probably, yeah. I'd go along with that.
I think he's the one that should miss out.
Yeah.
Mainly because he can't keep his mouth shut. But
right, okay.
Also, I think obviously Nick Pope will be disappointed with his performance.
Yeah.
But overall, I think he's a much better option than Dean Henderson at this given time.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Ramsdale didn't get a look in.
Yes, I'm surprised he didn't play one of the 2 games.
Yeah. And then obviously if Pickford's fit, it's looking like he will be. I think
obviously we don't know what's going to happen between now and Christmas. But
anything can happen between now and Christmas.
Yeah.
But for me, I think that'd be my options. I think.
Yeah. Pickford, Ramsdale, and Pope.
Yeah. Easy peasy. Right, defenders then. Now, are we going with what we think or what we would do?
Let's go with what we think.
What we think Southgate will do.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, then he'll definitely take his 3 fullbacks, his 3 right backs with him.
Do you think he's taking Trent? I'm not sure.
You don't think he's going to take him? Well, even so, you've got Reece James, Trippier, and Walker. Yeah. I think them 3 will go.
All those 3 will go. Yeah.
Which, I mean, he doesn't seem to fancy Trent at all.
He doesn't, no.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. Especially if you're playing 5 at the back.
Yeah. With the delivery he's got.
Exactly. He just feels like, for me, he's more of a natural. You ain't got to worry about him so much defensively.
He is a wing back. Yeah,
you ain't got to worry about him so much defensively with that extra cover, and with talk about the midfield in a bit, but we can assume Declan Rice is going to be involved.
Yeah,
with that kind of cover happening, I am a bit surprised he doesn't quite fancy him.
But as we said last week when we were talking about Jadon Sancho, he just might not like his attitude or the way he applies himself, maybe.
Yeah, well, he's just not the type of player he wants in his system.
Yeah. He's a bizarre one because, as we say, it's, he looks like he should tick all the boxes.
Yeah. Yeah, he presses, he puts the press, he's in that pressing form for Liverpool. That's how they play. So it is odd. It is odd, but I think...
It's very odd.
Yeah. But I think he'll go for those three again. They'll all go.
Yeah, and then maybe one more left back, probably Chilwell.
Chilwell. Well, yeah, at the other side, I think Luke Shaw will go.
Oh yeah, God, I forgot about Luke Shaw.
I think he will take Luke.
So is he going to take 5? Oh, mind you, Walker will play as probably a
right-sided
centre back.
Yeah, Walker will play a lot more as a centre back.
Yeah,
but he took them all. He took them all to the Euros. Don't forget.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the 5 fullbacks.
I think he'll go with that again.
Yeah.
Now centre back. I think Stones and I think Eric Dyer's done enough now.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully.
So I think those two will go. I think Harry Maguire is probably going to come under more and more pressure.
It depends if he plays any more games for Man U. I know, obviously.
I don't think he will start regularly for United unless there's an injury to either Varane or Martinez.
Yeah. So you have to.
So it's.
Does he take him being completely cold? That's the thing.
And that's going to be half the issue.
Yeah.
Will he take Connor Cody as well? And play a similar role that he played in the Euros? Because I don't
think just as morale.
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is you look at the makeup of his squad last time around. He had Mings and Cody in there. Obviously, Mings did play a couple games before Maguire got fit.
Euros,
But if he goes with that same structure, then really you're thinking, well, Dyer might come in for Mings.
Yes, yeah.
And then Maguire would make it along with maybe Cody or Tomori. But again, I don't think Southgate likes Tomori, which is another strange one for me.
Yeah. But again, he's another defender that ticks all the boxes.
Yeah. But it might be just something that he just doesn't quite fit.
Yeah.
But I think, because if it was me picking, I would take Tomori and I would probably leave Maguire, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, if he's not playing regularly for his club, he's...
And his confidence at the minute is just shot. Like, and he gets... And I think some of it's unfair. He gets such a highlight on him. For me, he seems even worse than what Phil Jones used to get at this stage for me.
Yeah.
Like, Phil Jones is another one. I think, it's just this... It's the pressure of being at United. It's one of those things you get that spotlight thrown on you, and then every little thing you do is just getting picked at.
Yeah.
And then that brings up more pressure on you, which then can cause you to make a few more mistakes that he wouldn't have made most of them at Leicester, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if he did get caught out, no one's going to hammer him when you're playing for Leicester City as much as when you're playing for Manchester United.
Yeah.
So, all of those things. So, I think, if it was me, I'd probably go with Tomori.
Yeah.
And I'd play him.
Yeah.
But I don't think Southgate will. And I think Southgate will stick with Harry going into the World Cup.
Yeah.
Again, it might be as well for his, the way that he is with the group and
in
and around the camp.
Yeah. I think that would be the reason. Yeah.
So I think we settled on that then. Dyer.
Yeah, settled on that. Yeah.
Dyer, Maguire, like that. Stones. And then Walker's in there, and Connor Cody. Are we still saying Cody?
I'm gonna go with Cody. Yeah.
I think again because he'll like having him in the group.
Yeah. Because he's a likable fellow and he's a leader.
Yeah.
Connor Cody.
Yeah. Okay. So that's our defenders sorted.
Mm-hmm.
Midfielders then. Now we'll go for those middle two if you like.
Yeah.
That he likes to play.
That'd be Declan.
I don't think he might. I think Jordan Henderson might miss out,
Really?
I think he might. I just got a feeling.
But tonight's going to be a good night.
Well, yeah, if you're a United fan. And then Bellingham.
Yeah.
If Phillips
he was superb.
He was really good in both games. Yeah. He was the shining light.
Yeah.
And I think we talked last week. So I think about maybe him not wanting to play Bellingham, or I talked to someone about that. Yeah. But after these last two games, I think he could start the World Cup.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because you could see, obviously, Rice was the guy that just sat.
Yeah.
And just sort of stayed where he was.
He's like a proper box to box.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's proper box to box, and he's a local lad to me. So let's get him in the team.
We want him to do well.
Yeah. So Bellingham,
Calvin Phillips,
if he's fit. Obviously, he's just had his surgery.
Yeah. It'll be a race against time for him.
Yeah. And then I just kind of think, you see, because obviously Henderson would be the other easy one.
Yeah.
In and around the squad, but I just have a feel. I've just got this feeling he might not go with him, and that he might stick Ward-Prowse in.
Might do. He didn't make the squad this time, did he?
No, but
But then, is that because he's already seen enough of him to go? Yeah, okay.
Maybe, but I've just got this feeling with Jordan. I mean, obviously, he's the one thing for Jordan Henderson. Obviously, is his experience.
Yeah.
Captain of his club. He won't moan if he doesn't play. He won't sulk around the place.
No, and he'll come on and do a job if he needs to.
Yeah. I've just got an inkling that he might miss out for whatever reason.
I mean, pros and cons of it. Obviously, James Ward-Prowse, set-piece delivery, set-piece taking.
Yeah.
Would be a plus point over Jordan Henderson. Age. Experience would be the only thing that would sort of mark him down.
I think so.
And it's whether you want... It depends what he wants to do in the middle of the park. If he wants that sort of balance of one versus another, then James Ward-Prowse is kind of that box-to-box midfield player that you can get about the pitch.
Absolutely, yeah, of course you can.
Yeah. And obviously, if you've got Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips doing that role, and you're going to put a Bellingham next to him, then Ward-Prowse is kind of Bellingham's backup, if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I can see the thinking behind it. Yeah.
We'll see how that one goes. That's just me. So yeah, me personally, I'd go towards Ward-Prowse. I think he might just surprise us with one.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
In terms of then, let's think our forwards. So not the strikers, but the forwards. I think. What do you think? You tell me what you think.
Okay, so Raheem the Dream goes.
Agreed.
Grealish.
Yeah.
Saka.
Yeah.
Foden.
Yeah.
And Mason Mount. I think will probably be the 5 for that sort of area.
What about Rashi?
I don't know about Marcus Rashford.
I think if Rashford's fit, I think he'll go.
See, I just don't. He just hasn't featured that much for Southgate. I know he's done 43 appearances under Gareth Southgate.
I mean, that is quite a lot considering that Harry Kane's only on 50.
It's just, I don't know.
He scored 11 goals. He scored 11 goals under Southgate as well.
Yeah. I don't know whether he's going to be in the best form for Manchester United to go.
Well, he's been much better this season than he has been.
But he's been
phenomenal
much better this season as a 9. As a 10, rather.
A 9.
No, 9. Yeah.
Through the middle.
I was right the first time. Yeah.
He wears the number 10.
Yeah. He hasn't been playing out wide, which is where he's going to end up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll go. I don't. When you look at the other options, there's a lot of similarness.
Yeah.
But Rashford gives you that something different.
Obviously, you've got Jadon Sancho. He'll be another one that's on the periphery.
Yeah, I don't think Jadon's going to go, and I think that'll just be because again,
he doesn't seem to like him.
He doesn't go. Yeah, just doesn't want to put him in there. But I think when you look about the forwards as a whole, actually, if you think about number 9 strikers, you've got Harry Kane.
Yep.
And I don't know who he takes because he didn't play. He didn't give Ivan Toney a game.
No. Didn't see anything of Tammy. Really.
Didn't see anything of Tammy Abraham. So
Ollie Watkins is another one that.
Ollie Watkins is an option.
In the picture, yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what he's thinking is there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what's he thinking?
Because Harry can't play every minute of every game.
No, but I think there's a good chance he'll play a lot of minutes.
Oh yeah, of course he will. Yeah.
In the World Cup. Calvert-Lewin can't get fit.
No.
So I think that'll probably work against him.
Yeah. If you can't rely on him to be fit, then yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because he's the obvious one for me if he's fit and up and running.
Oh yeah, because on his day, Calvert-Lewin is he's ridiculous.
Yeah. So exactly. So that's why I think Rashford will go.
Right. Okay.
Because he'll give options
wide and up top.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Your argument makes sense.
Because I don't know then where else we go. I don't know how many people we've got in this squad either at the minute. I don't know if you've been writing them down. we might be short
already.
No, we might be short.
Jarrod Bowen's another one.
Jarrod Bowen, I just don't think he'll go. I think
think he's in enough form.
Yeah, I don't think he's done enough. No.
Mark Gurr, he's another one that has played a few times for him.
But again, I think he'll go out with other options.
Yeah, Ben White's an interesting one.
Ben White is an interesting one, and obviously we didn't talk about him.
No.
And he's not as if he's. I think his problem is he's not playing.
No, he's playing right back for Arsenal.
Yeah. And the fact that he was on the fringes anyway with England, him now not, being
in that centre back role,
and knowing that we've got 3 very, very good right fullbacks, and 4 really if you include Trent.
Yeah,
he's not better than any of those 4 at right back.
No.
In a back 3, I think he could actually be very good for England, and we should have talked about him earlier actually.
Yeah. It's only because he was miles down the list, and I was just scrolling down, going, "Who else could we pick?"
Yeah. Yeah, because actually, though, I think that's a good shout. Really, he does kind of deserve a shout in that Ben White, but it is just around what he's doing for Arsenal right now.
Yeah.
So
we can't take everybody.
No.
And the good thing is obviously 26 rather than 23.
Well, that's it, and everyone's going on the bench as well, so he hasn't got to choose.
Yeah,
like he did in the Euros.
But you've got to be able to turn around and go, right, I've got options. If it's not going well, you've got to be able to turn around and go, right, you've been playing really well. Come on.
Yeah.
Got to have players behind him that can actually do something when they come on, like they did last night. To be fair.
Yeah, I think so. And that is one thing England do have is options.
We do have lots of depth. Yeah.
Especially in the forward areas.
Yeah.
And
they're all very different. They can all do different things. Obviously, I didn't think Foden played particularly well.
No, I don't think he did either.
I don't know whether
he showed a couple of moments. He had a couple of moments.
I don't know whether he was become too confident or whether they just weren't picking the balls out. There were a couple of times when Raheem Sterling could have played him in and didn't.
Yeah.
And you're like, that communication between the two of them. Obviously, they played together, so you'd think that would be there, and it just wasn't.
Yeah, it's not perfect, is it, at the minute up there? But that's where I think someone like a Sancho would do well, because Sancho, I'll probably get hammered for this, but Sancho is a similar type of player to Foden.
Yeah.
In that he likes the short pass game and he likes to be in and around stuff. And I think if you had Harry Kane with Sancho and Foden, there's real opportunity, maybe even, a Mason Mount kind of in one of the two in midfield. There'd be some really good link-up play between those 4 players.
Yeah.
Because they all like to play that kind of football. And Harry Kane will make the runs into the box and create the space. So, yeah, there's options, but I just feel like we'll go for there. I mean, Jesse Lingard, he's got to do something for Forest, I think.
Yeah.
Very soon.
I don't think he makes it.
But I don't think he makes it. again, he's one of those players who never let Southgate down when he's played him.
Yeah.
Always seems to play well for England, but I don't think he's going to have done enough.
No.
In
and that's the thing,
Forest
you can't just, at this point, he can't go, right, you played well for me in the past.
I think there'll be an element of that, though. I think,
yeah,
I heard
there'll be a reward for getting England to this point. Yeah,
yeah, and I think he'll be like, he'll want people in his squad who he knows.
Mm-hmm.
And whether they're in the squad now or not quite, I think, all the guys that went to the Euros and got us to a final,
yeah,
have to be in the conversation.
Yeah.
And I think they will be in his thoughts and in his mind. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. And I don't know exactly when the squad is announced. Do we know?
It's at some point in November. I think probably about a week before.
Okay, so we'll know, and it'll be very interesting that day, as they always are.
Yes, because I think, as you say, there will be a surprise. Someone who we don't expect to make it will make it.
Yeah, usually there's always a surprise in there.
The Theo Walcott moment, as they call it.
I don't quite think. I mean, that Walcott to this day still confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah, because he didn't actually kick the ball.
No, because he took him. Okay, he's in there to make numbers up. But actually, when you've only got a 23-man squad and you've got a limited amount of, you can't just take a guy.
You can't even take a passenger.
You can't just take someone who not, because we could have. There was games I was thinking, okay, we could do with a bit of pace in here. Go on, give him a go.
Yeah.
Nothing. It was such a strange decision, that one.
Yeah. And obviously, he never really got another opportunity under another manager.
Oh, that's not true with Walcott.
Not with England.
What are you on about? He scored a hat trick. He scored a hat trick against Croatia for us.
Yeah, he was never. I don't think he was ever an England regular after that one.
No, he was. He got in loads. He got in. He played how many caps? How many caps has Theo Walcott got?
Hang on. Whoa, I'm gonna find out.
I reckon he's got to be in the 40s at least. Had it there, 47. 47 caps. You don't get 47 caps over a 10-year period without being in the conversation.
Yeah. All right. I'm just looking at the managers, though. So he's had 3 appearances under Gareth Southgate, 1 under Sam Allardyce,
mainly under
21 for Hodgson,
Capello, wasn't it?
20 for Capello,
yeah,
and 1 for Ericsson.
Yeah, so Capello and Hodgson played him mostly.
Yeah, and that was back in 2012.
Yeah, but that was when he was.
So his last England appearance, England appearance was at 27.
Yeah.
He's now what, 34?
But that was, but that was his time, wasn't it? But I have to say he didn't have enough chances. He definitely had them, and he played really well in some games.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And get 47 caps for England by not. You can't say that's not giving someone a chance or getting games under managers.
Yeah, I just didn't think he ever did anything like that.
He did. I remember him getting that hat-trick. He was blistering that night. I'm sure it was against Croatia.
I've no idea.
No, don't worry, Theo. I got you back.
Yeah, okay.
Against this Arsenal hater here. That's all it is. Tottenham fan, innit?
No.
This Tottenham man over here.
Nothing like that.
There we go. Next thing you know, he'll be telling me Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney didn't get a chance under any manager.
Well, he's going to have his record broken probably at the World Cup.
He probably will do. Unless something happens to Harry Kane.
Yes, please. God, don't say things like that.
Don't
say things like that.
He's on 50 now, isn't he?
Yeah.
At magical 50. But yeah, we'll see how that all goes. Right, that's our squad then. You can make out the numbers. You can tell us whether we were short or not.
You can tell me how many we were short.
Or how many over we were.
Yeah. Right, it's a private plane. We can put as many people on it as we like.
We can. They just can't play them all. Before we go, we can have a quick little look at this weekend's fixtures. Premier League football is back.
Premier League football is back, and there is a lot of big games this weekend. We start on Saturday lunchtime with the North London derby. Arsenal take on Tottenham at the Emirates. Come on, you Spurs. Then it's Liverpool versus Brighton, Fulham, Newcastle, Southampton, Everton, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Brentford versus Bournemouth. Complete the 3 o'clock games. West Ham take on Wolves in the 5:30 game. Then it's the Manchester derby on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Manchester City taking on Manchester United. Leeds and Aston Villa is the game at 4:30 before an East Midlands derby on Monday night. Leicester taking on Nottingham Forest.
A big weekend of derbies.
Big weekend of derbies.
Big weekend of derbies. Don't
We are
underestimate.
either going to be delighted next week or it's going to be a very short podcast.
It could be a very mixed one as well, but it's also, don't write off that East Midlands derby either.
That's going to be feisty.
It will get quite feisty, and Leicester do need a win.
They desperately need a win. Yeah.
So hopefully that'll be a good one to watch out for. But yeah, so thank you very much for listening. Don't forget you can get in touch with us at Let's Football Pod on Twitter. You can email us at letsfootballpod@gmail.com. We'll be back next week going through all those games. Very sad, very happy, bit of both. But you'll have to tune in next week to find out. But for now, we'll see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.